Today we're going to look at some harness fails. We scoured the OSHA subreddit to find various work situations where people were not using their harnesses correctly, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's wrong and what you can do about it. This one right here, we've got a gentleman standing on top of a man lift, but he's got his harness on and he's even got a double tether, which is what you're supposed to use while you're in a man lift to make sure that you can't come out of it. You're supposed to be using it in restraint. It's not a fall arrest anchor. Also, the other thing that I noticed with him is that he's talking on his phone. He may be having a work-related conversation pertinent to what he's doing right there, trying to figure out how to do whatever it is he's doing. However, you should do that while you're in the basket in a safe place. Use the harness to stay tied into the lift and use a lift that's tall enough to get up to where you need to be. And don't talk on your phone. Okay, so we got these two guys here standing on scaffolding with a harness and tied off. Okay. First of all, that's good. Most of the time when you've got people on scaffolding, there's nothing protecting them, whether it's guardrail or any type of fall protection or fall protection system like this. The other thing is you can tell the lanyards are very much loose and pretty far horizontal. So when they fall, if they fall, they're going to be swinging. And so the swing fall hazard is going to be a bit of an issue. Especially with scaffolding right here, you can ram into scaffolding that could potentially bring that whole thing down. The other thing here is that they are both tied off to the same anchor on this on the rope grab here. That's very dangerous because the two systems can click together and unhook one another, and then therefore something were to happen, they were to fall, and then they get unhooked. So we want to make sure that the anchor point is appropriately above where your work is being done. And if you need to move left or right, a lifeline system would be a better option. And make sure you have your own tie-off point. And again, with these guys, make sure your harness fits correctly. Okay, so he doesn't even have a harness on. What they've done is they've used a cross-arm strap wrapped around his stomach, and then for the anchor point, there's another guy standing above him, just holding him. There's no anchor point, just another man. This is super scary because if the person below falls, then he's bringing the person above with him down. If the person above stumbles backwards, he's going to make the person below lose his balance, which he doesn't have a lot of space to help maintain his balance. There are a lot of solutions that you can use to protect yourself in this situation. There are temporary anchor points that can be installed on the standing seam roof that's right behind them. Or if they needed to, there are parapet anchors as well that you can install that are right on the parapet that he's standing right next to. This person's standing outside of a window. They've got a harness on and it looks like it's fit properly, even has some nice leg straps to go with it. There are tool bags that it look like they're attached to it to help carry things around. You've got a good helmet on, but there's no connector. You can get anchor points that can go above from the roof, and then you just drop a rope with a rope grab down, and then that person can tie off while they're inside. Or you can use a self-retracting lifeline with the appropriate setup as well. Here we've got 5 people hard at work. One of them is up in a lift and they are wearing a harness, and it looks like that harness is connected with the lanyard to the lift itself. However, they are standing on the mid-rail of that lift, which tells me that their lanyard is far too long. Anytime you're in a basket, you need to have a lanyard that is short enough that you cannot fall out of the basket. So that's number one. Number 2 is the guy right next to him doesn't have a harness at all. He's standing pretty high up, no harness, he could easily fall. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but he needs to be tied off. You can do a tie-back anchor, which is just a strap that wraps around a steel beam right back on himself, and you can just tie off to that with a harness and a lanyard, and you're good to go. The other concern that I have is that you got 3 people working right below, and anything that falls, or if a person were to fall, they're at serious risk. They've got their hard hats on, so it's great that they're protecting the tops of their head, but it doesn't protect you from a screwdriver in the back. So make sure that whenever you're doing work above, that the area below you is cleared, and that you use some type of demarcation to let people know, hey, we're doing work here, stay back until the work needs to be done. If you gotta work in both places, make sure that you do one at a time. To sum it up, make sure you're using a harness, make sure the harness fits, and make sure you have the right connector at the right length and an anchor point that's secure and your own. Don't share it with anybody else. If you need any of the equipment that we talked about in this video, like a harness, lanyard, or an anchor point, please check out our website or give one of our experts a call. Thank you for watching this video and have a safe day.